What's up guys, welcome to Osu World Cup's most underrated players, where we highlight players in this year's tournament that you should look out for. I am Peppercrab and I'm going to talk about a player on Team USA who is ready to show the world just how high level his gimmick skills are. This is Ethantrix v3. Ethantrix is a rookie for Team USA who is known for playing anything hidden or gimmick. He was on this year's 3-digit World Cup roster where he got to show his ability on those skills. These past few weeks he's been on quite the streak, showing he could play anything unconventional, whether it's an awkward old map, a forum-esque aim control map, or the unique wafer mapping style. He can get the first FC on it, beating out many top players. The gimmick duo between him and Bashiman is the most lethal one out of any roster. Don't be surprised to see them sweep everyone away.
And welcome back to the 2025 OS World Cup quarterfinals. It's a fitting caster duo for the US-UK as I am Dolan, joined by the legendary one and only Doomsday.
What's going on, Dolan? Hey, we get the OWC cast this year. Let's go. And
I know.
This is a matchup that doesn't really need much introduction to anyone that's been following this tournament. It's the United States versus the United Kingdom in the upper bracket. These are two teams with a lot of history, a lot of hard fights, a very strong rivalry, a lot of twists and turns. But the United States, of course, coming into this is seed number 2, one of the big names, one of the ones people are touting for the title. But this is a big test for them against a resurgent UK team here.
Indeed, there's just so many storylines, so much hype, and so much lore, as you kind of pointed out here, between these two teams. It's going to be amazing, and I mean, I'm in the booth with one of the only people to ever get a win over the United States for the UK. You were part of that team. They got the one and only victory ever over the US in this rivalry.
Yeah, that 2018 Grand Final match, which still to this day is the most insane OSU tournament match I've ever played in, and probably will ever be, because I'm generally just chilling on the sidelines these days. But yeah, the only time UK have ever beaten the USA was in that first matchup in the Grand Final, the bracket reset on tiebreaker. USA, of course, went on to win the bracket reset and the tournament. But apart from that, this is their 8th match they've played, and it is currently 7-1 in the favour of the US. So I'm sure the UK will love to put another notch on their side.
Actually, it's 6-1. 6-1. Because this, like you said, this is the 8th meeting. So the victory is yet to be decided here.
True. Math is hard. 6-1, yeah.
Indeed. Hey. But what we say all of that, chat, to basically say that this match has to go to tiebreaker, all right? If this match does not go to tiebreaker, then these 16 players have failed us, all right? This canonically must go to tiebreaker. That's the script. We're revealing it now. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't.
I mean, these two have played one match already so far. They skipped the groups, of course, as virtue of being top 8. US took on France last week, winning 5-2. France putting up a good fight on their maps, but the USA navigated that pretty well. The UK took on New Zealand, who, as we were chatting just before this matchup, New Zealand playing so well. They are looking so good this year. 5-3 the result was in favour of the UK there. So that was a very stern test to open up their campaign. But straight into it, from the frying pan into the fire. But how are you feeling about this one, Dolan? You've casted many of the matchups between these two over the years. How are you feeling about this one in particular? What are your first thoughts?
I mean, it's always a treat when the US and the UK clash, because there's always fireworks in some way. There's always some storyline. Even when it's a one-sided match, like, something awesome usually happens. You're well entertained. So I think that's why I'm just so excited, you know. Not also to get to share this match in the booth with you, a veteran player who I haven't casted with in quite some time. So to finally get to cast with you, and it's these two teams, man, I'm just excited to be here with you in the chat.
I say likewise, man. It feels like it's been so long, but hey, we get another one. We can pop another one on the board, mate, and get stuck in, I suppose. So once all the players have been moved over into the lobby, I think Akolibed's just having a couple internet issues. Hopefully, you can get those all tied up. and we'll get stuck into the picks and the bans between these two.
Indeed, it's
Honestly,
going to be UK banning first, it looks like.
UK tend to generally just ban the maps they don't like as opposed to try and counter ban or anything. But the United States, being the US and being so well rounded, banning against them is nigh impossible. But the UK do tend to ban, particularly based on just their own preferences of maps they just don't really like, from what I've seen. But I think in this matchup, they are going to be looking to make great use of the mechanics. They are probably the best aim team in the tournament in terms of consistency. So you're looking at the one maps, those maps on the far left there, falling apart and no mod, jetpack racing hidden, remote control and double time, and probably things like Haunted Dance Hard Rock 1. But it is going to be a free mod 1 ban from the UK.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, and also it seems, banning to the opponent's strengths, right? They know exactly what this American roster specializes in, what they're good at. And free mod 1 is just typically kind of one of those comfort slots for most teams, to really kind of get set and warmed up with the mods. It's usually something that a lot of teams like to reach for at some point. So we see that coming out. And also, you have to state this when you talk about the United Kingdom. When Bubbleman is the captain of your roster, there is always a plan, and the match is never truly over. And I think you could speak to this a little bit as being a former teammate of Bubbleman's.
Yeah, it's always about, positive mental attitude. No matter what happens in the matchups, you don't let it, get to you. You don't let your heads drop. Certainly for my experiences of playing with the UK team, it's always just been about good vibes in the VC, good vibes in the chat, regardless of what happens. So generally, UK always have their head in the game. Very rarely do they ever just drop off and tilt, which I think has been one of their biggest strengths over the years, particularly with Bubbleman at the helm. He's very good at keeping a good team mental going.
Absolutely. And that is paramount to achieving any upset victory, is having that solid mental state at all times. And we'll see how that plays out here as we have the bans: free mod 1 from the UK, no mod 1 banned from the United States.
Makes sense. Get rid of some of that raw aim. That no mod 1, more on the awkward side of aim with tricky angles rather than being fully sharp angle comfy. Proshki known for mapping stuff like that, but US do not want anything to do with that against this UK squad. I don't blame them.
And now both teams going to have their second ban here in reverse order. So the United States are on the clock for their second ban. The UK will get their second ban after that.
I am a little bit surprised, to be honest, to see Prismatics banned from the UK side. With their flow-aim roster, that's a pure stream map. I thought it would be quite good for them. But it is also one of those maps where it kind of spikes in difficulty. And perhaps not trusting it. It's a bit of a wild card pick. I want to stick with some stuff where, I guess, the variables are not so wacky. Stuff they trusted a little bit more. But still, kind of thought that might not be a bad choice for them. They clearly don't like it, so...
Maybe they just don't like it against this particular opponent here. Because like you're saying, I don't think that free mod 1 under any circumstance would be a bad pick for the UK, but in a match like this, with 2 bans as well, adding an extra layer of strategy to things as opposed to the group stage, it is going to be no mod 5, the second ban from the United States.
Oh, the low approach rate no mod. I actually quite like that ban a lot. Looking at those sorts of low AR reading maps, particularly when you put it on no mod, I thought that'd actually be quite a good shout for the UK. Certainly helps against this US roster that have generally owned gimmick maps over the years. But banning it against the UK, honestly, I quite like it. It's a good choice. Hard Rock 1 followed up from the UK, so they are double banning 1 maps, they are banning stream maps, both of them. So, really, I guess it is going to be more about the aim side of things and the speed side of things. The entire DT pool is open. Both these two teams can shred maps in that. It's going to be a great fight to see those played today, and I imagine we'll see plenty of it too.
As well as the entirety of the hidden pool remaining untouched. Hidden 2, unbanned. Definitely
that's,
not something you see, especially with 2 bans per team.
No, it's leaving that mod open is an interesting one in this one with the reading players on both sides. I think that hidden pool, particularly the fact that the hidden 2 transient tiers, normally that's like a low approach rate reading map, but here it's more of a precision control map, which I think is a better sort of pick for the US than it would be for the UK. That hidden pool looks pretty good for the US. Then again, I'm looking at maps like Jetpack Race, that's pure aim. That one is right up the UK's alley. So there's plenty for both teams to work with in that hidden pool. And that's where we're going. To kick things off here, Dolan, it's hidden 3. Starting off with heartstrings. Some more control,
yes.
flowing.
Hidden 3, my favorite.
It's a tune, actually. Funky tune. Mapped by Flasker. Long time World Cup mapper. This is not a custom for this week. It's a custom for another tournament, I believe, but we do see plenty of Flask maps here in OWC, and it's always nice when we do.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Flask is a timeless name to see at the bottom of the screen in the mapper slot in the OS World Cup.
It's more about the control side of flow aim. It's quite low BPM, 160, but lots of variable spacing, lots of acceleration and deceleration, and on hidden, that is particularly nasty. But this map also has a lot of weird rhythms. It has a 1/3 section, kick sliders, some weird stuff. It's all sorts of control all the time, and generally, these sorts of maps on hidden, the USA are usually very strong at. No matter who they're facing, it's always been a good pick for them.
Indeed, and right before we get started on this one, I want to remind you that over on the B stream, we got Chile versus Austria. Chile leading 5-1. You can watch that over at postlive_2. But we here on the A stream are getting set as we see the rosters coming out for both sides.
Slowly forming in for the USA. Taquito, C, who is one of their newer players drafted in for the control side. We'll see them a lot on those control maps today, I'm sure. And Ethan Tricks, another one as well. Very strong on the control heavy maps, particularly on hidden. He's a preference player. Decaton is a mainstay for this US squad and can generally fill whatever he needed to. On the side of the UK, Listia, hidden preference player for the UK. A Collibed making his debut this year in OWC. Of course, not overall, but he didn't play last week. It's the first match of the year. Plasma, and then Neutral Grape, who is Skier, to round out the UK roster.
Gotta love a name change.
Yeah, especially the ones that just come at you from surprise and you have to quickly just Google it. My favorite.
Yeah, you're just like, oh yeah, I pretend to know who that player is as you're looking at their OS profile. But here we go. Early AC advantage for the United Kingdom at the start of this one as Listia finds the opening break.
Very early break there from Listia, followed up by Taquito. These stream patterns open up pretty quickly with these accels and decels. It does catch out a lot of players whenever it appears at the start, but plenty of time to bed into the flow of it. It's generally quite consistent. You can get used to it over time.
The drop from Collibed is going to net the Americans about a 60,000 point lead here that is slowly growing as we approach the 1/4 mark. Oh, big miss there from Schiazzo, Neutral Grape, as Listia also goes down. And now it's Decaton and Ethan Tricks holding combo with C. Taquito building up a nice supporting combo, and things are getting pretty hairy for the United Kingdom real quick.
Yeah, the only FC left being Plasma, one of the key reading players for the UK, but he can't do it alone. The control squad from the US doing great work so far. This is the sort of pick where, yeah, every year it just seems like this is their bread and butter. They could just break out these left field control picks and just be so consistent on them.
No.
That might be a disconnect. There was some issues with Collibed's internet at the start of this matchup. Hopefully it hasn't bitten them there, but that's not looking good. It's also halfway through.
Yeah, this map is definitely going to be under review at the end of it just to see what happened here with the Colibed, but we're going to be checking with the officials as the remaining 7 players continue on, as that is well past the abortable range. So, unfortunate for the UK, but, I mean, let's be honest, Doomsday, the map was already pretty out of hand for the British there. So, unfortunate as it may be, it is not going to be the end of the world because, unfortunately for the United Kingdom, they really weren't in this one. The Americans were putting up a really solid score margin and a huge combo advantage before that point as Ethan Trix carries on with 900 combo Doomsday.
Yeah, it's looking like this one is a US point all day long. Plasma got the break there. Ethan Trix finally drops his FC, a bit of a cursor dance there. But still, he's got 700k on that. His team backing him up well as well with 500k across the board. It's a great opening here for the US regardless. That was clearly their point, and a great first pick too. Great first pick to open this one up for the Americans.
Indeed, as Taquito is able to build a nice little supporting recovery combo here to close this one out, over 500,000 points for him. And 500,000 points is going to be the margin of victory here, unofficially on your screen. 1-0 United States. The United Kingdom now will have a chance to return fire here, and thankfully for them, as I said, Doomsday, it's not the end of the world because it's not as if the United Kingdom were going to take a break point there.
Nah, that was a difference of 664k looking at the lobby, minus a Colibed score, and he'd already broke. I don't think he was hitting 600k that play.
Yeah,
that was clearly going to the red side.
Yeah, when you put it in perspective that your top score was a near FC out of Ethan Trix, 977 combo with 97 accuracy and was 750. Yeah, it would have taken a monumental feat from a Colibed to flip that.
The UK side though, Plasma got a 1 miss with 98.3 on that, which is a great accuracy for that. That's a crazy score. Just so unlucky on the 1 miss. But regardless, Plasma, when it comes to these control maps, is super important to this team, particularly the extremely gimmicky and low approach rate ones. Not really going to make too much use of it here, but there is still that free mod 2, Suminagashi, which certainly could be eyed up here by the UK. We'll see if they choose to go into it, but that might be a little choice for them at some point today.
You just have to hope that that isn't going to be a continuous issue here for Colibed in this matchup. He's going to be a vital player for the United Kingdom if they're going to take this upset victory.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Certainly the mechanics are where we're looking UK to strut their stuff against the USA. If there's one place you can poke them, it's there. They've never really liked the raw aim stuff. A lot of the times they tend to ban it like they have today. But the UK won't be afraid to go into that themselves, and here comes part 1 of that with the remote control.
Indeed, a classic song in the OS community, a classic map as well.
Like, ain't a soul in the lobby that hasn't played this before. I bet you there isn't a soul in the lobby that hasn't tried to farm this before. Grind it down. I wonder how many of these guys are mind blocked on this.
Exactly.
It's one of them.
It's like when Big Black was in the map pool with the mind block factor.
Oh my god, yeah.
That actually, wait a minute, that actually is something we need to consider here, because that was kind of a one-up thing that happened, you know, regarding the Big Black being in the map pool, is it was the first time ever in a tournament setting where you knew everyone's already played the map before. A lot. Everyone's mind blocked to an extent on the map. We'll have to see, but the United Kingdom, they showed their double time prowess quite well last year with the most absurd team score I've ever seen on a double time map, much less Fallen Angel itself, with 4.68 million points.
That was ludicrous. I mean, even for a team like the UK with their aim, that score on Fallen Angel was ridiculous. But anything even close to that here would be also as crazy, but won't say anything. Won't count our chicken fully hatch, I suppose, on that one. But nevertheless, this sort of thing has always been their bread and butter, certainly in the last couple of years. And with that squad, it's hard to bet against them. Rudge comes in alongside Mahmood, 2 of their key aim players for this aim heavy DT. I'm sure the USA will respond in kind too.
Indeed, indeed. This should be quite the battle, though. When you talk about double time skill, I mean, these are probably two of the best teams. I mean, there's plenty of other teams that are great at double time, but I mean, Rectagon, Bubbleman, Mahmood, Akolibed, Decaton. I mean, this is a insane lobby.
Absolutely insane lobby. That is the word to use. Yeah, Taquito going to be finishing it off, the captain for the US. Pez, of course, was one of the debutants last year, but this guy has already become one of the most important players for this US roster. So reliable when you need someone to just make something work on almost any sort of map type. Pez can deliver the goods, even surrounded by the players that he has on the squad. But with Rectagon on your side as well, you've got one of the strongest mechanics players in the world on your side, who is not going to be too phased by an 8-star aim map. Regardless though, these sorts of maps are incredibly important for the UK to use well. If they start dropping picks like this, it could be a pretty tricky prospect to take down the US. But all starts here.
Also want to welcome everyone who's joining us from the B stream that just raided. Coming in from that match between Chile and Austria that ended 6-1 in favor of Chile. Things just getting started here as the US have taken their opening hidden 3 pick. United Kingdom responding with double time 1 remote control. So you haven't missed much.
Now we are just getting started here with this one. This upper bracket matchup. A long-time rivalry between these two. I guess the last time these two faced was 2021, and Bubbleman and Malteser were on the last squad to face the US. I think Taquito is the only one left from the US that actually played that matchup. I don't think Rectagon played that year. So it has been all changed since the last meeting between these two with the US.
And it looks like there is some technical issues. Finally, Window Life joining the lobby.
Well, if you're going to swap someone out, yeah. Bring the Window Life in for the double time 1. Another key mechanics player for the US. I think this might be our squad, Dolan. I think we're going.
Looks like we're finally set and ready to go. I don't know if this is the exact roster that the USA wanted to go with, but, you know, Bancho has come in and said, switch it up. So, Window Life, the 5th man here.
I suppose a 1-in-1 for connection issues here, but hey, we'll make it work. Map number 2. Let's see how they're looking on the AR 10.5 aim. At one point, high AR used to be like a thing that was actually something you mentioned. Oh, that map's high AR, it's specialized. But nowadays, AR 10.5 and no one really cares. People just play it.
Yeah, that's the new norm here. Early misses coming out from Rudge and Akolibed, traded by Window Life. So advantage USA here of about 20,000 points and slowly growing, but Pez is going to level it out with miss of his own.
Yep, 2 to 2 on both sides. Advantage UK very early on. The key eyes are where the hardest parts in this map are. The verses are much more doable. So those choruses are the parts to watch out for. The first one's coming up in just a second.
Indeed, and the score bar dead center. Nothing to separate these two teams. Again, trades coming out from Rudge and Window Life. It's going to be level. The UK actually will hold a slight advantage, but now Decaton goes, traded by Mahmood. Another wisp from Window Life. This is insanely close here, Doomsday.
It is. As we get out of the first key eye there, it is dead even. Slight combo in favour of the UK as we get into the slightly more doable verse, slightly easier part here. The advantage is incredibly slim though. A break on a recovery combo will flick it the other way. So it is still very tenuous here for the UK.
Indeed, but the biggest advantage that we've seen of the map yet, and Decaton's drop there is going to further it along here to 60,000 points and growing rapidly. But Doomsday, this is the center of the map. Halfway mark, score capping is going to be brutal there, and Mamu goes down.
And Rudge as well. Akolibed from that reverse choke. 800 combo now is huge, but it's Pez and Rectagon. There goes Akolibed though. Just to say that, it's advantage US. They've got the recovery, and they've still got Rectagon with that FC. Slow part as well to claw that difference back.
Yeah, but now the United Kingdom are going to need to see a miss either from Rectagon or Pez to stop this swinging and to keep them in the map. But the scoreboard flips Doomsday, and now the United Kingdom need a miss desperately.
No one breaks on those bus sliders. No slip-ups there as we get back into more of those mechanics. They're relying on Bubble Man to deliver the goods once again, but it's out of his hands right now. Rectagon with that 99%, looking ominous on the other side. Pez on that reverse choke. We get into the final Ki now.
This is it. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen here, but all of them hold Rectagon, Bubble Man. Pez will go, but is it too little too late? Rectagon goes, everybody goes, and it's over. 2-0 USA, breakpoint.
That's a big breakpoint as well. The full reset on the final Ki, the absolute classic break on the diff spike across the lobby. But Rectagon and Pez, brilliant scores from them both. Nice combos at the end there from so many of the lobby, hitting those ending jumps. But the point was won here by Rectagon and Pez, mostly for the US. Big scores there through that second half and that second Ki. It's a big breakpoint here.
Doing his best. Just unfortunately, not enough help as Pez also doing solid work. And now it is 2-0, the pick to the United States. A chance to make it 3-0.
So again, that early momentum, always important in a matchup with slim margins like this one. With the US now with plenty of gimmick to pick from the pool, plenty of different skill sets to pick. They can just get into something they find a bit comfy. Try and really stamp their mark on this matchup early on. As I mentioned earlier, they have a bit of everything around the pool. We have seen a hidden. There's 2 more hiddens to go if they want to get stuck into that. I feel like if they pick any of those hiddens, it's going to be hidden 2. And there it is.
Oh boy. Relentless the Americans are, going from one brutal skill set to another. Hidden tech, and now we're going to go low AR hidden. But again,
Not just...
if you leave this unbanned, Doomsday, if you don't ban this, that has to say something about your confidence in your hidden 2 skill as a team. So clearly, Bubbleman feels that his roster is not bereft of talent.
The Reaper roster on the UK are super strong, although I think they'd much prefer it being really low AR than something like this, but still, they should be pretty decent on something like this. It's precision low AR. It's AR 9, which isn't super low.
I say low. That's I say low, but that's actually like mid AR.
Yeah, but I mean, in modern map pools, AR 9 is generally considered quite low. There's a lot of density there that it does stick out, especially when you stick it on a map like this with very wonky patterns and very tricky streams. Lots of wiggles and awkward patterns in this. That really really gets highlighted when you put it on AR9. But it's also CS7, so it's small CS as well. It's all sorts of gimmick, all rolled into one. A very different kind of hidden to this.
Yeah, hidden... It's such a weird line, isn't it, Doomsday? The line between AR9 hidden and AR 8.9 hidden. Because those are 2 vastly different worlds, even though they're so close. Because most people are used to like AR9 when they start playing the game, you know? You get to AR9 and it's kind of, you're comfortable with it, so when you put hidden on, it makes sense. But then when you go any lower than that, that's when your brain just for some reason can't handle it.
Yeah, AR9, yeah, you can be quite comfortable on that, but even if you go just to see it a few decimal places lower than that, the feeling is very different while playing it. I do agree. I think players are getting more comfy with lower approach rates on higher star rating maps like this. in recent times, but it is still a very specialized skill set. I think for this one, though, it's more about the precision and that small circle size than the reading is. But it's still there. You got to deal with it.
And also the length of the map, too. I mean, we're under 2 minutes. This is nearly a TV size.
Yeah. Really short map. OC maps for busy people, these. We've seen Boshy Man make an appearance for the US. The precision player of the squad is in very particular maps exactly like this. And also low AR on the side of the UK. Skier's back in. And Plasma is also back in on the reading map.
No surprises there. Some early misses coming out. Trades from Taquito and Bubbleman. Rudge will follow it up, spelling a slight early advantage for the Americans. Will be furthered along by that miss from Skia. But Taquito is going to keep it level with another miss.
Yeah, the only break really coming from Taquito in these early patterns. The harder patterns in this are to come, but the UK have already found breaks across the board. There's no FCs left for them, just a couple of recoveries on Rudge and Bubbleman. Now it's only Bubbleman.
And just like that, things are very dire for the United Kingdom as Ethan Tricks and Rectagon trade, but they're still Boshy and Taquito holding combo, and there goes Bubbleman. And that is going to be all she wrote here, Doomsday. Unfortunately, halfway through, it is already essentially over unless the US team wipe and chain miss.
Yeah, this is the point where the map just starts going off the rails at this point with these stream patterns. So if the UK are going to have to find combo, it's going to have to be right here, and it's a big ask. Taquito does find the break. It is advantage UK, but they need more than this. It's going to be a very ambitious effort to try and pull this back from here.
I mean, if they get the team wipe and hold the combo, but there goes Bubbleman. No, now it's officially over. I mean, Plasma and Bubbleman had done a solid job rebuilding some combo. But unfortunately, it's just not enough. They've tried their best here, but it's going to be 3-0 USA. UK back to the drawing board here, but they'll have their second pick. And for their sake, they need to make it a good one to stay in this match as Rectagon. Oh no, what have you done?
It's slided. It happens to the best of us. Top score, though, does go to Plasma, though, with a actually amazing run through the second half. He FC'd the entire ending, which is just crazy stuff on this map. That's brilliant from him.
Oh, look at that. I mean, look at Plasma real quick. Look at that. Just take a picture of that. That's a prime example of what getting score cap looks like. The misses come out in the middle of the map, despite essentially nearly an S rank here. Comes out with 600k.
Honestly, though, as well, like there's been some brilliant scores across the board in this lobby, though. I just want to highlight that real quick. Got 98% on, I think, 5 players. Boshy Man had nearly 99% slider break there. That is truly a Boshy Man moment. Joins in for the precision, absolutely destroys the map, and then leaves. It's an unfortunate slider break, though.
Now, where will the UK go next? All of double time open, essentially double time 2, 3, and 4, free mod 2, 3, and 4, hard rock 2, hard rock 3, hidden 1, and no mods 2, 3, and 4.
I think they'll be eyeing up a map like Jetpack Race, hidden 1. That's a very comfy high SRA map. It's on hidden, and US have picked hidden so far, but that's all mechanics really. A good map for the UK if they want to try the aim again. It didn't work on remote control, but it's fine margins really. They could also go pure speed if they want to, but that's also a bit of a toss-up. Free mod 2. Okay. Yeah, sure. This works too. They did very well on the last free mod 2. And this one is a similar sort of style to that.
I mean, I don't mind this considering how well Plasma just played. You know, that's something we need to consider here. And this is true low AR hidden. You're talking about for the hidden players on this. So, giving that low AR player the time to shine, and everybody else can kind of play to their own comfort, you know, aside from the hard rock player. But the UK are definitely equipped, and that's why most teams I feel like love free mod, because you got a hard rock player, you got a hidden player.
Yeah, you just stick them on their comfortable mod and just let them rip, really. Both these two squads will have mod players that will be probably quite comfortable in this. It might be come more down to a consistency war on a map like this. US love their more gimmickier skill sets, and the UK love anti-mod free mod. So this should be a proper tussle on this. On another pretty short map. It's another 2-minute long map on the CS5 AR8 with lots of tricky rhythm, especially in the middle and the end. Lots of swing rhythm and odd snappings and weird tempo. On low AR, of course.
Now, the question here, I feel like, Doomsday, is if you're the Americans, do you gamble with the overmod, considering that this isn't your pick? And if you achieve a breakpoint here and go up 4-0, that would be massive.
I don't know about overmodding this, really, because I think you're better off just going for the consistency. I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring map. I don't think we're going to be looking at like 3 or 4 FCs either side, really. I mean, so I think you just want to play it safe. USA have players that can just play this no mod and fairly reliably get a high score, I'm sure. Probably a risky play to overmod unless it's a comfort pick. Maybe we'll see some comfort hard rocks. It's a map where we've seen that. People have overmodded hard rock to get that AR10. Could certainly see that.
Because there are some people who they would rather play AR10 than AR8.
Yeah. Even if the star rating goes up by like a whole star, it's fine.
It's easier than AR8. And we do see a slight overmod for the Americans. Rectagon to Caden going to be going hard rock. Ethan Trix is going to be going hidden for the Americans, and a standard min mod for the United Kingdom. A Colibet on hard rock, Plasma on hidden. No surprises there. Joined by Bubbleman Listia on the no mod, as well as Boshi Man for the no mod on the side of the United States. Doomsday. This should be a good one.
Yeah, this is a really good setup. This is a setup that kind of writes itself for both squads. The first part of this is a bit more doable than the rest. You have these wide angle aim patterns which can catch you out, and if caught out, Listia there. Stream drops on Ethan Trix on the hidden.
Yeah, Plasma trades it, but Ethan Trix dropped a lot more accuracy than Plasma did there. Unfortunately, chain missing, and that is the tricky part of low AR hidden. You miss the wrong pattern, you're missing a lot of other notes and tanking aggro really quickly.
Into that swing now with the trickier rhythm coming in. So far, so good here for the US. On the UK's pick, they are finding themselves a bit behind, but they do still have 2 big FCs. They can still pounce if one of those FCs drop, or 2 of them really from the US. But it's only Ethan Trix on the hidden dropping. Those double hard rocks holding real strong for the US.
Indeed. And the UK are going to need to see something here. They're still contesting quite nicely, though. They have nice combos. There's a miss from Boshi, so there's something.
It's with the UK now, the recoveries.
Yeah, it'd be nice for them to see one more from one of these hard rock players, but they are pulling it back quite fast and should have enough time, but Bubbleman is going to trade.
No more drops for the UK. It's only a Colibet on that hard rock with the FC. Listia drops on that no mod as well, so the US have it again. Map's winding down now with some more of these linear aim patterns. Could be all she wrote here.
They need a double miss right now from Decaden and Rectagon. Ethan Trix is not the miss they want to see. It helps, but it is not enough, as it's 1800 combo and growing. That's going to be it, Doomsday.
Is this going to be the 3 hard rock FCs in this lobby right now? The only full combos are the hard rock
I
players.
can't believe it.
What even is that? That's crazy, by the way. 3 are brilliant hard rock FCs in this lobby. A Colibet for the UK, but Rectagon and Decaden on the US side. The 1 miss from Boshi on that no mod as well.
The
Ditto for Bubbleman.
99 from Decaden.
Yo! Well, that's clearly the strat. Just don't play AR8, I suppose. But, I mean, this is kind of a freak score for both these two teams. Those team scores were brilliant on both sides. Great play from both of them.
And
But the
also,
US with another big one.
Indeed. Plasma with a solid hidden score there of 780,000, 98.8% accuracy. just unfortunate that the United States had 2 Hard Rock FCs. That puts in so much work on the Fremont.
Yeah, the score multipliers, I think, coming in clutch there. It's only a small game, but if you can hold an FC, that little bit of advantage just gives you a bit more edge. But again, Plasma with another brilliant play on reading today. Nearly 99% on that, on hidden with all of those rhythms is super good. But I say, unfortunately, just not quite enough today.
And now the United Kingdom backs really against the wall as the United States has the next pick. And if they convert, they will be down 5-0 and need a reverse sweep to advance.
It's a tricky position here for the UK. 4-0 down, and here comes some side-by-side double time 2. Catch World Cup original. Absolute slapper. We love me some A1.
I was gonna say, this is a familiar song. Familiar background.
I'm gonna say, this is from your neck of the woods, Dolan.
Indeed. We get originals in other modes. How about that? Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know that.
Yeah, and really good ones, honestly. Catch World Cup gets some of my personal favourite originals. So many tunes, not least of which, of course, things like Eternity, and also I really like Catch the Glory as well from a few years ago, the Grand Finals TB. Siramaru and D-Dice.
Yeah. It was really nice.
And also this one. Some Eurobeat, Toho Eurobeat mentioned. Speed and control, doubles and quads. Finger control at super high speed. A bit fitting for the genre, I suppose, too.
All right, now that I've reached my contractual amount of CWC mentions, I'll be leaving. I'm just kidding.
Gotta get it in there. But hey, I still think this is a pretty decent shot for the UK because their speed roster is still, I think, one of the strongest in the tournament on their day, and we get to see some of their speed players struck the stuff now, which we haven't really seen so far. I saw Malteser just poke his head in there. Imagine Neil will be playing this.
Yes, indeed. And it looks like they'll be finally getting the roster set. It's going to be Rectagon rounding out the roster for the United States, as Bubbleman and Rudge step back in for the UK.
That's another one of the important tapping players for the UK is Rudge. We talk about his aim and his hard rock a lot, but his tapping side is very consistent, makes great use of it in other tournaments he plays in. Of course, I don't think Colibed needs much introduction when it comes to tapping. Very infamous for high PP speed scores in solo. But regardless, US picked this. Their tapping roster is super consistent. Taquito, again, we talk about his hidden, but this guy is a super reliable tournament speed player. Not surprised to see him play this.
Here we go on to double time 2. And the United Kingdom need a break point, and they need it badly here. This would be a monumental break point to take. We see some opening trades here. 2 misses from the UK. Take that 3. Only 1 traded back from the Americans in Pez. And that's 4. Full way reset for the United Kingdom doing today.
That's a full reset. Those opening patterns are pretty brutal patterns. It catches out everyone. We know Life breaks on a pattern on the verse, which is unfortunate, but 2 FCs on their side, they're still sitting pretty. Taquito and Rectagon doing the business. You can still finding some breaks though. They're getting set further behind here.
And now the Americans beginning to run away with this as the gap is over 200,000 points. Taquito and Rectagon absolutely locked in. Pez will find a drop, but their teammates are locked in, so don't think they need to worry too much as a Colibed and Bubbleman go down. Unfortunate here for the UK. They are really going to need to see the Americans get score capped here, but Taquito and Rectagon, you just can't count on them missing. They look so comfortable, especially Taquito on that 99.2% act. Oh, I've done it. I've done it.
You had to say it though.
I've done it.
Halfway, that's a brutal score cap, but still 99% is just nuts. It's only Rectagon left with the FC. There's the break. And now Rectagon can just chill and try and take this one home. Plenty of time and plenty of space to do it, not under too much pressure. Can he lock out this score, though?
Looks like it is going to be too little too late here. That is a monumental score gap to flip with less than essentially 45 seconds on the clock.
Final chorus now, still with the FC Rectagon. How far can he take this? There's some nice recoveries on the side of the UK. 5 combo from a Colibed is leading the charge for the UK, but it's just not going to matter.
This is the definition of combo gaming. Holding on for dear life with a 97.6. Oh, I didn't say his name. Come on.
Oh my god. That's 1-0 though. That's a 1-0 score from Rectagon on that one. That's a really good score. Just brilliant from Rectagon. The USA are steamrolling the UK on this, and it's a speed pick they've stolen from them, and it was pretty decisive too. Nice miscants though from Malteser and a Colibed on that with a 97% each. Those are brilliant accuracies for this. But the USA really looking like contenders today.
Yeah, thankfully for Rectagon, the work had already been done and the point was secured. Unfortunate that the drop came out, but they will still lead 5-0, and Rectagon is absolutely locked in. I mean, these past 2 maps, putting up an absolute clinic. And now for the United Kingdom, how will they try to avert the sweep? What will they go for here, Doomsday?
Ooh, well,
what can they go for?
Well, so far they've gone into some DT1. It was pretty close. Went for some anti-mod. That was pretty close, but US decided to choose violence. DT4. So what they're going to go for something really strange. What they're going to do is take the Nightcore angle. And I see why. I mean, why not vibe out to some Nightcore? You might just win it. You never know.
I mean, the strange pick is not a bad choice here, you know? You're down back against the wall. You need a reverse sweep. You need to get a point on the board to get something going your way. Switch it up as much as you can. And like you said, they've been competitive on these double time maps.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is a good shout for the UK. It's speed, which plays into their nice tapping roster, and it's density reading. It's AR9 after you've added DT, so it's a very dense linear aim map. And this is definitely a good pick for the UK. Memes aside with Nightcore, but regardless, I see why UK picked this, and it is also something that's a bit left field, a bit of an unusual sort of map style. And sometimes you need something like that to just get a foothold in the game when your back's against the wall like this.
I guess you could say, in a way, that this is really the only definitive true finger control map in the pool. I mean, yes, there are other finger control elements in the pool, but I mean, this map, above all others in the pool, is more centered around finger control.
I'd say this one's more about just the raw linear aim, though, at high speed, though, but it's definitely got some of that control in it. You have like a bit in the middle with these triples, one after the other on awkward zigzags. So there is that element to it as well. It's just a weird sort of map style. It's an uncommon sort of map to see in tournament.
Hard to really truly classify with just one label.
Yeah.
And that may be why they've gone for it, you know? Like you said, that's strange. It's just, it's got a little bit of everything in it, you know? I don't know. We'll try this. But, you know, double time is definitely not a bad pick when your team is the United Kingdom.
I suppose I'll give you the random boomer fact of the day. This map, mapped by Lisbeth, who is someone that actually played in the very first ever OS World Cup for the Dominican Republic. Way back when. So, making a long-awaited return here to the OWC stage, Lisbeth.
Let's go. Welcome back, Dominican Republic, in OWC 2025. Here we go. It's the last chance for the United Kingdom. And they have forced Rectagon out of the lobby here. It's going to be Ethan, Trix, Pez, C, and Taquito for the United States. It's the Colibed, Plasma, Bubble Man, and Schiazzo for neutral grade. And Taquito is going to find that first miss. Well, traded actually with Bubble Man, but a Colibed is going to follow it up now. Oh!
That's a double break though from the UK. It's just Bubbleman left with a combo, and it's not much. He's against 3 FCs on the side of the US.
All right, we need an absolute devastating chain miss to occur on the side of the United States. The UK to avert disaster. Ethan Trix is going to drop. Traded back by Colibed and Bubble Man. And unfortunately, it just looks like it's too little too late on Doomsday.
It's not looking good for the UK. They are staring down the barrel of defeat here. There's the break. A bit of an easier part as well. Gotta say though, we've seen this map a few times this weekend, but I don't think we've seen a team score like this so far. This map has been super volatile, but we've got 2 FCs still going. And a reverse choke from Taquito. We have 399%. C gets the break. It's just Pez left with the FC. But how far can he hold it? Can someone FC this map? Is it even doable?
And it's all down to one player, and I gotta say, they're having a solid rebound. This is their best map of the match so far. A chance to seal the deal. Is it gonna happen? Last patterns?
Last linear's there. That's gotta be it.
No!
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 Yes, no!
Pez, why? You had one job.
No!
So close. It's nearly 1.2 million from Pez. It's way over 3 million from the USA. It's an insane team score from the USA. It's 6-0. It's a statement performance from the US. They are the challengers for the first time in a long time, but they are hungry for the gold, and that performance was colossal from them.
Indeed, as you said it best, a statement win indeed. A clean sweep, 6-0 from the United States, our second seed. They move on to the winners semis, and they guarantee a top 6 finish and lock themselves into finals week.
Absolutely insane stuff. And honestly, this is one of those matchups where I think apart from Rectagon, who top scored 2 maps, every single US point was top scored by a different player. Lots of different maps played, and lots of different players taking the highest score for their team. This is a team of superstars, of highly skilled, highly revered players, but every single one making their statement here, making their point known. The UK has some great scores in this lobby, not least of which that 3mod 2. That score was actually extremely good, but the USA are just on a different level today. Plenty of time for the UK to continue on in their campaign, and they've got plenty of fight left, I'm sure. They're going to have to do it in the losers bracket, but nevertheless, USA mean business.
Indeed, that is going to end it. At least for today. I actually think we have a few other matches potentially. Or was that the last one? No, that was the last one for Saturday. We're going to be kicking things back off on Sunday here at 10 UTC with Australia, the 3rd seed, against 6th seeded South Korea. That is going to be an epic match. And the winner of that will advance to face the United States in the semifinals.
Oh my god, that side of the bracket is scary, honestly, with the players set up in there, but regardless of who ends up facing the US in that one, I'm sure they'll fancy their chances, even if they're seeing that. That's the sort of power those two have. 13 hours though, so you got time to have a bit of a nap, sort your bits out, and we'll see you back here for that one though, at 10 UTC. Should be an absolute barnstormer. I'll be there. Hope you are.
I hope I am. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you there. Doomsday, pleasure to cast with you again. Thank you for joining me in the booth as always.
That's all good, Dolan. Cheers for the castmates. Stay tuned, everyone. We will see you back here at 10 UTC for more OS World Cup 2025 quarterfinals. Stay tuned.